Well, now, by the end of this video, I will show you how to exactly turn 20,000 into 1 million, step by step. And by the way, before I even start saying anything on this video, let me first say thank you for turning in and actually coming to watch this particular video. And don't forget to like and make sure that you subscribe. This is kind of the videos that I post each and every day. So stay put. And by the way, before I even say anything on this particular video, who is a millionaire? You know, people walk with this vague understanding of who is a millionaire. First, we have to start by defining who is a millionaire. How do you even become a millionaire? Are we together? Now, listen, to be a millionaire or to be termed as a millionaire is to have an asset that is equivalent to 1 million and you do not owe anybody zero debt. Are we together? But you are not a millionaire if, say, let's say maybe you have an asset or assets that is equivalent to 1 million. Are we together? You have an asset equivalent to 1 million and you owe somebody or somewhere, you have a debt of, say, 300,000, 300K. You're not a millionaire. Why? If we subtract the asset and the liabilities, we get your net worth. So your net worth is equivalent to the assets minus the what? The liabilities. When I say liability, let's say debt. Let's say debt. Are we together? You know, it can be a liability that's actually making money. For example, a car is a liability. We agree. But you can have a car that is in Uber. So it's more of an asset because it's generating some cash. Okay. So a net worth is equivalent to your assets that you have that are generating cash, subtracting the debt that you own out there. If you have 1 million, say 1 million cash in a bank and you don't know anybody, see, I still believe you're a millionaire anyway. After all, that is your money. Anyway, the point is, how do you become that? And you have 20,000 with you and you want to achieve that particular target. This is why I want you to switch off all the distraction that you might be having in your house, stay put and listen this video step by step how you actualize that. Okay, and I'm gonna give you 3 ways on how you can actually achieve that. 3 ways. I repeat, the first way will be the slowest, the second way will be the moderate, not slow, not fast, just somewhere, and the third way will actually be the fastest, how you can achieve that. Reason why I'm giving you these three options, all of you who are watching me, you do not have equal financial muscles. Some can actually do it faster, others can actually do it in a moderate rate, and others can actually do what? Do so at a faster rate, or get what I'm saying? Now, the first, okay, listen, the third one is the fastest. So you stay put until you get the last one, okay? Now we're gonna start with the first one. The first one is the slowest, okay? Stress-free. Are we together? And you simply do nothing. It's the slowest, but it actually stress-free and you do nothing about it. And this is the option, okay? Option number 1 is when you take that 20K, are we together? You take that 20K, you throw it in an investment. Let's use an example of a money market fund, which is giving you a percentage of 12% per annum, okay? And it's actually giving you what you call the compound interest. When are you going to hit 1 million? When are you going to hit 1 million? That's the biggest mark. That's what I mean. The slowest one is right now, say you have that 20,000. You take that 20,000, you throw it in an investment, say money market fund, because I would love you get into an investment that is giving you a compound interest. Are we together? You take that 20,000, throw it there. It can be an FIF, that is fixed investment fund, or LMMF, or anything that is giving you compound interest, okay? You throw that money there. You'll never do any top up. You'll never even follow up. You just throw that money there and quote unquote forget about it and you stay. How long will it take this money to keep on giving birth to small money, give birth until it hits the 1 million? How many can answer that question? But then you can take your pen and paper, do so and do the calculation. And remember, we are calculating the compound interest. So don't use the simple interest. So anyway, it will take you approximately of 33 years for that money to actually move from 20K all the way to 1 million. That's the reality of the game. And that's why I said investing, it takes time. And that's why I said it is the slowest and stress-free. Why is it stress-free? You're not required to actually top up whatever you had input in that. If today, let's say you are 20, you're watching this video. Let's say you are 25. Maybe 20, you might not have the 20,000. Let's say you are 25 or you are 26. And you have your 20,000 somewhere. You go open a money market fund and you be like, you know what? I'm going to put this 20,000 and quote unquote like forget about it, I'll never do any top up, I'm just be doing a follow up anyway. You just put that 20,000 somewhere and you quote unquote forget about it. If you are 26, with the time you are 59, that's before you actually go to a retire, because the retire will be there. Before you go to a retire, you have yourself for 1 million, and that 1 million gonna be giving you returns that are coming in constantly. Are we together? And that's why I said it's the slowest. Why? Because it's taking a whooping 33 years. Okay? Now, that's the slowest method. Now, Joseph, which is the other method apart from this one? Because, hey, yeah, sounds good because it's stress-free, but it's actually taking a lot of time. Which one is the other method can actually help me to achieve that target? Let's go to the point number 2. So stay with me. And by the way, if you're watching this video up to this particular point, honestly, you have not bothered even to hit that like button. Come on, you're doing this video injustice. Come on, imagine somebody showing you how to invest 20,000 and get $1 million surely. And all what he is asking is only a like, just a like on this particular video. And make sure that you subscribe if you have not. Why? Because you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. Let's go on, okay? Now, the other point or the other method is actually a moderate one. It's not the fastest, neither is it the slowest. The method number 2, let me call it the moderate, okay? The average, if you may love it. Average, okay? The average one, okay? The average one, again, the starting point is the 20,000. Now, again, pick a money market fund. For example, pick an MMF that is giving you 12%, and actually giving you compound interest. Are we together up to that particular point? Now, if you pick this money market fund, which is giving 12% per annum returns, and you have yourself the 20,000 here, I want you to obviously throw that money into that particular investment. But now, you don't want to do like the first person who just threw that 20,000, did nothing, and waited for 33 years to get their million. What I want you to do, you may not be able to get this 20,000 again, let's say per month, but what I want you to do, just raise a half of it, what? 20K monthly. That's what I want you to do. Just raise half of it, which is 10K monthly, and then do what? Do the top up. Let me repeat. You have your 20K as of now, you open up MMF, you throw it in there, and then monthly contribute half of what you started with at the beginning, which is 10,000. You'll be throwing that 10,000 continuously. By the way, I forgot to tell you something. At the end of 33 years, for the point number A, you're gonna end up with you're gonna end up with 1.028 million. That's like 1,028,000. That's what you're gonna end up with. Now, if you opt to this is the first one. This is the first method, yeah? The slowest, okay? If you go with this one, the second one, which is the moderate or the average one, you'll be contributing 10,000 to your initial investment. You're gonna end up with, guess how much you're gonna have yourself? You're gonna have what you call 1.085 million. So the biggest question is, after how long? After how long? That will be 6 years. That is when you're gonna hit your first million. Listen. You are starting with your savings, which is 20,000. And then per month, according to how much you usually earn, you'll be like, you know what? Actually, I can manage to get 10,000 somewhere. Yeah, I can actually get that 10,000. Then commit yourself to throwing that 10,000 to where you did start with your 20,000 and do that continuously in a period of 6 years. By the way, 6 years is not a long time. In Kenya, we usually do elections after 5 years. By the way, in Kenya, a kid usually goes to grade 1 when he's 7 years. So if you start today and you marry today, your kid won't even be able, or rather in terms of age, go to grade 1. So that means after 6 years, you will be needed to actually be paying school fees and what have you. Like, you get what I'm saying? See, I actually have an issue with these young people. When you tell them about 6 years, it sounds like, by the way, let's take an example. I'm making this video at around December of 2024. Barely like 2 months ago, that's when students joined university, because universities in Kenya usually joined at around September. Now, you're going to be in that university for the next 4 years. 4 years, you get out an internship or confusion, like, yo, how many of you guys here that you graduated like 10 years ago, you've never gotten a job? Can you imagine that? It's not a long period of, oh, by the way, okay, fine. You have an option of not investing. Either way, if you invest or you don't, 10 years will pass, 6 years will pass. You get what I'm saying? So that is exactly what happens when you decide to commit yourself to an investment. So you're going to take yourself 6 years. And I know you guys, you're here for the ultimate goal, which is the fastest way to actually hit that 1 million using 20,000. Let's get in the business now. Okay. Again, don't forget to hit that like button. I mean, we are teaching money here. I mean, this is a serious things, okay? Now, the last one, which is the fastest way of hitting that 1 million from the 20,000, the fastest. Okay, the fastest. Now, this fastest is reserved for the special people who can actually advocate for discipline, sacrifice, and consistency. And let me show you. You start with yourself with 20K. Remember, we are still doing the MMF. Returns remains the same, which is 12%, and we are going for the capital, or rather, we are going for compound interest. Here we are. Now, this is what I want you to do now. See, you take your 20K, of course, throw it in an MMF. Once you do that, then contribute its equivalence. What do I mean by its equivalence? You had started with the 20K and commit yourself. You know what? My financial muscles actually allows me to contribute its equivalence. What is its equivalence? You invest 20,000 to a money market fund, then every month be contributing its equivalence, which is 20,000. Be contributing 20,000, throwing it into that money market fund. You start with 20,000. I have to say it slowly because people catch it at different rates. You take your 20,000, you open a money market fund, you throw it there. And then every month, be contributing 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. So the question is, after how long will you hit your first million? When will you hit 1 million? This is it. You might be shocked. Guess what? You're going to end up with how much? You're going to end up with 1.067 million. After how long? 3.5 years. In 3.5 years, you're going to have yourself a what? 1 million. Can you just imagine that, guys? It is the fastest. Of course, I know this one comes with a little bit of stress. Why? You have to stress yourself, stretching yourself, sacrificing yourself. So the question is, honestly, if you ask me, I would say people who can manage to save 20,000 each and every month are people who are earning a salary of 55,000 and above, or 50,000 and above. But it depends. You can actually be earning 40,000 and you can manage to do this. How? If, say, you don't have much of the responsibilities, maybe you're watching this video, you're a bachelor, you're a spinster, you know, meaning that you guys, you aren't married, and you can actually go ahead and sort of, you know, put that cash out there. If you're earning 100,000, come on, you can actually manage to do that. Just look at the areas where you can actually shake some of the expenses that you're having, commit in doing this, and guess what? In 3.5 years, you have yourself 1 million. And this is what I want to tell you guys, you know, 3 years. Come on, I mean, this one does not even need any introduction. In 3 years, just 1, 2, 3.5, you go, boom. I mean, if you do the elections, like for example, if you're a Kenyan watching this video, I mean, it's basically like when we'll be having the next general elections. That is on 2027. We are in 2024. That's like 3 years and whatever, and a little bit of a change. You got yourself 1 million. Commit that 20 G's that you think like. Those expensive drinks that you guys go for a weekend and you drink and whatever. Let's say maybe you want to own a car, for example. Let's say you want to own a car and maybe your car is approximately 1 million and 1.1 million. We're talking about likes of, say, Mazda Demio or whatever the thing it is, or maybe a second-hand used car locally, you know. See, you can actually commit yourself and in 3.5 years you have yourself a car. That is exactly how you do it. Because listen, whenever it comes to investing, takes time, contribution, it takes sacrifice, discipline, and consistency. That is exactly what brings the greatness and actually differentiates people from one to other. Now, see, I've provided with you 3 areas and 3 ways on how you can actualize. Now, it's you to pick the one that can actually work for you. If you cannot manage to get yourself 20 G's at the end of the month, go for the 10 G's at the end of the month. If you cannot, for example, there is another option that I did not even share. For example, say you cannot even actually manage to get yourself 10 G's at the end of the month, but you can get 5. You can do that mathematics, you know. Get the 20,000, throw it in an investment, be contributing 5K. I can see that period of time will be less than 10 years. Look at it from the lenses of 9 years or 8 years. 8 years, you have yourself 1 million. For example, I said if you can take 5,000, throw it in a money market fund, throw it in an investment, which is giving you approximately that 12%, in a period of 10 years, you have yourself 1 million. But remember, here we are contributing 5,000, yes, but we are starting with 20 G's. So view it from the, you know, doorsteps of 10 years, maybe 9 years around there. So pick that works for you, for God's sake. And if again you do not have the 20,000, you can start with as little as 5,000. Contribute that monthly, continuously in a period of 10 years. You're going to end up with your million. So is there any other excuse now, guys, that you cannot actually achieve that a million thing? You know, the some of guys have actually thrown up the towel. They have given up. They think like, you know what? I think a million is reserved for the special people. Come on, don't do that. Apply the formulas that actually I've given you 3 and I've added you 2. So I've given you 5 ways on how you can manage to get that a million. And listen, the moment you get a million, by the way, nobody teaches you how to get 100 million. Nobody teaches you how to get 2 million. No, just get the first million, because magic happens the moment you get your 1 million. Do you know what we say? Your first million, you're going to make it alone. A lot of sacrifice, discipline, and whatever. But the other one, people will actually help you to make it. That is it. This is Good Joseph. And as always, I'm here to share about something to do with money. Remember what my tagline says? I'm a guy with a camera and a fair share of money knowledge. See you the next one. But don't forget, if you need my services in one way or the other, my number is always on the description of this particular video. Get it up. Let's talk business. For now, it's a goodbye. See you there.